the moment you bolster hope and you say that I will fight on, is the moment things start to come. A lot of you are at a point in your life where you don't trust God. And you might be on your right not to want to trust God. You might have felt disappointed and abused and let down. You might have felt caught up in life's crazy web. You might have felt forgotten. You might have felt let down. You might just have lost a relationship of 4 years or 6. And for you, nothing definitely can console you. You have every point to be upset. But please, do not doubt your maker. Because what your maker predestines for time for you, you do not know. And what your maker sees, you will never see. So it is just for you to keep hope alive. And keeping hope alive doesn't mean you will not have doubts. But keeping hope alive means have a mindset of it is not over until it is over. Today, I'm going to tell you a very powerful story of somebody I know. This person had just lost a relationship of about 5 years. This person had just lost a relationship where he invested so much. But you see, the truth has to be said. We cannot keep deceiving ourselves. If something is not working, there is no point to keep trying to make it work. It gets to a point that when you try, you know that it was not supposed to be. So this person had tried everything. He had tried everything in the books. He had tried to make this relationship work. It wasn't working. Then the relationship went. And it felt very sad. In fact, when the person he was with decided to leave him, he still tried as much as possible to be able to make things work. But the person said no, that I'm not interested in making things work. So he felt sad and he said, okay, God, I leave it over to you. When this business partner contacted him, they booked an appointment. He came to see him. They discussed business. After discussing business, this business partner was already on his way out when he asked this man that just lost a relationship of 4 years, my Oga, do you have a woman in your life? This person felt let down. That how can a business partner that we are just meeting, he asked me about it, he must be business with me. We have not resolved business with me. We have not resolved. I am about a wife. One to be able to side or hoodwink me. But he said, okay, just be persistent. Okay, in less than 1 year, married to that lady. Who will have thought that it was a business partner that brought a life partner? It will shock you. The truth is, the business they tried doing together was never successful. But it showed that the business partner was not there to bring in business. It was there. He doesn't need to lie to you. He's not favors like those people that favors from you lie to you. He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't care about that. All he wants to do is he wants to do you good. That's all God is concerned about. It's the good that he wants to do you. That is his priority. That's why we sing a song in Christendom. Oh, beg your pardon. I'm just trying to get a lot of logistic. That's why we sing a song in Christendom by saying, Obada ni magbagbe eni ekushe. He's the God that creates somebody and that doesn't forget you. So he doesn't need to impress you. He doesn't need to make you feel good. God is not a motivational speaker that needs to motivate you. No, I'm not here to jack up your faith. I'm here to tell you the capacity of what God can do, the reality of what he has done. This is not fiction. This is not fable. This is something that has happened. In fact, this couple, I was still with them in this my trip in England. I was still with them. And I was still telling them the other day that this is your love story. I will constantly tell it to the world because it is a reflection of the miracle. In fact, let me shock you. They might even be watching this telecast now as we speak. So it's not something that is I recall, I thought about it and it's something that I saw that was real, that have happened. That's just it. So you do not have to give up on God because he will not give up on you. His own is to do you good. Does he have time when things will happen? Yes. See, the reason why things are now is the fact that is not the time for them to happen. When is the time for them to happen? Nobody can stop them. Nobody can stop them. And you know what about the blessings of God? He maketh rich and added no sorrow. Wealth into your life. They will wealth into your life. To you. Yesterday, went to do a job for somebody and the job pay him, got into his case. He slept in police cell a while and the wife left him. I said, it is just a confirmation of what I always say on my show, that a lot of you are married to men or women that are not your true husband. In the next 5 years, you will understand what I'm talking about. So I encouraged him yesterday, while I try to do whatever I can to help settle out what was going on in his life. I will give God the glory that we got some resolution. I also help tell him that that person was not for you. For the fact that she's being there with you was not for you. They said he complained it's because they didn't have a baby together and everything. I say, a woman that leaves you because you have not had a child together, or leaves you because you had a police case and all of that, it's not for you. God will give you the bone of bone. Messages, all your great words, and all of that. And this ministry moves on. It's a ministry of God. It's been over 10 years, on the radio that we've been doing this, impacting the word of God to people and enhancing their lives. So we thank God for his ministry. And we have also been impacting the saints right here. So we'll take calls 0818 099 1991. 0818 099 1991. I'm back. I can press the Jimmy Carter at the funeral. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Yeah. And again, let me. God bless you, my brother. What? God be praised. God be praised. We'll do more by the grace of God. Yeah. One thing again I want to say, I really need you one-on-one. Do it and register. And they will teach you about AI. I'm sure you do it and register. And they will teach you about AI. I'm sure you are hearing AI. It's going to be big money spender, billions. Recently, America signed deal. Donald Trump. Recently, America signed deal. Donald Trump government over 500 billion, 100 to 1,000 million, 100 to 1,000 millionaires, because creating wealth is all about create scale. What is wealth and skill? Write those two words down. Skill is equals wealth. When you and you create a big scale with that skill, it will become big wealth. Check. There's nobody on earth that does not fulfill that principle. Two principles of wealth: skill. You must have the skill, then you must scale the skill. That's what wealth comes. So it's not that the prosperity they have in America they have for it's just skill and skill. Hello, how are you? Please. Oh yeah. So my brother, I want you to teach 50 to 100 people. I'm a poultry expert and I'm ready to train anybody who is ready. Okay, so give out your number. Give out your number on air. My number is 080 yes 29 yes 2813. My Instagram handle is Maja Farmer Official. Maga Farmer Official. Maja. Official. Maja Farmer. 080 yeah 9 yeah 19 yeah 28 yeah 13. Let's call it again. Let's call it again. Let's call it again. 080 uh-huh 29 19 13. Okay. And Maja Officials Farm. Okay. Thank you so much. I've sent you a series of emails. I definitely know you have a lot of emails. I get tons and tons of emails. You've not been responding to my mails. I've sent you a lot of DMs over years, over time. So sorry. Now we've responded it. TikTok on, I've been trying to reach you all this while, and I'm conversant with Arise too. I see what you do on Arise too. I've been trying to reach you on Arise too. So God has predestined this day. So today your number is out on air. Let's focus on this training. Call your number again, please. People start calling me already. Yeah, call it again. Let me call my number. Call it again. The line is fading. You see, the line, a lot of people are calling already. So, go and take free poultry training. He will give you free poultry training. That's the way we empower people. I say, and the next question is they're going to ask me, if we poultry training, how do we set it up? Money is not your problem. Money is not your all. You know what you're going to do? How to set it up? Your equity. How are you? Bless you. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, from Delta State, Nigeria. Where in Delta State, my brother? In Ughelli. Ughelli South or where? Ughelli, near the palace. I stay close to the palace. Okay, close to the palace. God bless you, my brother. God bless you, my brother. I be that area too now. Yeah. So, nothing more. I just want to greet you very well because I come across 2023, period of election. You spoke positively throughout the season. So I thought this kind of people are no longer in Nigeria. So God bless you. God bless you, my brother. It is well. We keep speaking positive. We keep speaking positive. It is well. It is going to be well. But we need to reform INEC if we want the elections to be better in this country. There's so much corruption in elect body, so much corruption. And we need to reform INEC. So much corruption. How can civil servants be living so large? It's a funny country we live in. If you observe now, all of them are quiet. They are quiet, busy planning. It look as if there is no INEC official, no INEC anywhere. It is where we speak our own truth. In every area, we keep speaking our own. They might not like to hear the truth, but we speak it because now God sent us message. So it is well. Bless you so much. All right. So please go on that lovely farmer over there. Given our opportunity, is going to train. Check my book, my page. You will see that interview. Don't give up on God. Let your faith be strengthened. Let your heart be solidified in grace. 0818 0818 Our ministry continues. A lot of people. Thank you so much. God bless you for joining us. And you can also send us WhatsApp messages. Jesus Christ. You see, let me just give you an idea of how many WhatsApp messages we've got. Look at it. You can see over 3,000 WhatsApp messages. You can see over, I'm not sure if you are seeing properly, over 3,000 WhatsApp messages. Over 3,000. That's what we get. So sometimes when I don't reply, it's that I'm, but to get through these things are hard. Hello, how are you?
Hello,
Morning, sir. What's your name? Speak up a little bit louder. What's your name, sir?
okay. My name is Jana from Ipaja.
From Ipaja. Go ahead, sir.
Brother, your words encourage me this morning
Yeah.
because I've been facing difficulties. I'm being in business for years. 5 years now. 5 years now. Turn around so much. That you get to a point when I want to commit suicide. God in my mind, I believe it's still with.
Amen.
Because no matter what I invest in the business, at the end of it all, I will see it again, but I did not buy anything. He kept encouraging me to be closer to God, which I was born in Christian. If you can make at the end of it all, I find out that which turned out to be my childhood aunt and all. And God will have it. December, I take it upon myself. I went for a deliverance mountain and all. But last year again, I invested. I was March. But I don't remember the finances of that deliverance. Everything went up again. Nothing changed right now. But myself in God, I see it. It gives me more hope that God still lives. Even your talk this morning. The only thing that is affecting me now is this. I felt better with my kids. He's trying to withdraw from God, which I don't know what to do. That I pray in the morning, I pray in the night, but my kids is still want peace. But God does not hear my mother.
It is well. He hears. When God seems like he's quiet, that's when he's working the hardest. You just have to hope on. You just have to hope on. That's just it. He will do it at his own time. That's why he's God. When it seems like he's not hearing, that's when he's working the hardest. So just hold on and let God lead. Huh? It is well. Hello, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, how are you?
Fine. Hoping on good night.
Hey, how far now? How are you?
My brother, I don't try your number for months. They can encourage you. We are very proud of you.
God bless you. These are my people where we go school together. Oh yeah, Obin, now talk about that your project, that your game show on top YouTube where you they do. Talk about it, please, on radio.
All right, thank you. Fine. It's a show concept like that is designed within inside this country. There is so much division, which is why I'm very grateful. I have my team from his quarter inside this country. So it's all about culture, bringing our different cultures and my families, ensuring we have fun. You know, culture, music, sport, of course, you know, and that's the talent here. I don't have that with as an uncle, so that's why that was.
What's your YouTube channel? Let's promote it.
The Lead Family Show.
The what game show?
The Lead Family Game Show.
The lead as regards that, just do that, and so much. God bless you all. Up from Mexico. Thank you all. I can see you. You're trying to call on the other line, but that line is being used to stream. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you for your time. As you go this Sunday, I pray God will bless you. He'll keep his face over you. He give you peace. He give you joy. He give you happiness on every side. I'm a little bit very patchy, and I apologize for all of that. So please forgive me. I'm a little bit very patchy as at now. So I apologize for all of that. Please forgive me. I'm just trying to get into the frame of things once again. Bless you guys so much. I appreciate you all.
Who, when he had preached, they would go back and read the scripture for themselves and question. During that conversation, I told the senior pastor and pastor that if I had lived during the days of Christ and I was one of his disciples, I would have been Thomas or Philip. I would have told Christ after his crucifixion and resurrection, I want to see. I would have said to Christ, we have lived with you, I now want to see the Father. I told them that doubt is the mother of faith. I then told them that Christ, during about the Pharisees, if you read the book of Matthew, at chapter 24, verse 24, Matthew says that in these days there shall arise many. Will come a time when such as those will come to him, and they'll say to him, Christ, we performed miracles in your name. God makes worthy those whom he calls. He does not call the worthy. And when today, therefore, we talk about finishing strong, we've got to look at the Bible and ask ourselves what it is that is divinely ordained. You know, I imagine to myself, when the hosts of heaven are sitting up there and they make this decision after they have created everything, and the book of Genesis says that the world was void and without form. And then they make the decision that they will create man in their own image. And Adam is created in God's own image. And the Jewish word for the soil is Adamah, from which the name Adam is then derived. And when you read the Bible, some theologians actually say that if you read the first segment of creation, He says we created them in our own image. And when you read the Talmud, it is suggested that in fact, and this is in Christian tradition almost blasphemous and heretical, that Adam's first wife was Lilith. And then it goes to the second level of creation, and it says that God saw that it was not good for Adam to be alone. And it is then that Eve is taken out of his flesh, and he says, woman, out of my flesh. They started very well. They worshiped God very well. But they did not finish well. And because they did not finish well, that is why we are suffering today. Even the heavens have never been happy because they did not finish well. God had to send his son who was humiliated and persecuted and crucified because Adam and Eve started well but did not finish well. And if you read the story again and you meet Abraham. Abraham was a worshiper of many gods. He lived in Ur of the Chaldeans, which is modern day Iraq. And it is of him that is said in the Bible that he was God's friend. He brings him out. And to demonstrate how friendly God was to him, the story is told on the decision that was made in the heavens that Sodom and Gomorrah would be destroyed. And we are told that there is a conference and a conversation in the heaven whether that information should be revealed to Abraham or not. And the decision is made by the three angels to tell him that they are going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. And they tell him, and in that dramatization, one of the most interesting things is when the Pharaoh, after the 10th miracle, the Israelites are about to cross the Red Sea, and he sends his hosts to go and attack them. And Nefertiti, who is the Pharaoh's wife, tells him to go back. And of course the story is known when he came. And when he's coming down, he hears some noise, and in the dramatization there is Joshua with him. And Joshua tells him there is noise down there, and suggests to him that they may have been attacked. And Moses says, no, those are the voices of joy and revelry. The people have sinned against God. The people have sinned against God. And he holds the 2 tablets and slaughtered it. And then David says, if there is such a man in my kingdom, he shall be punished. And then Nathan says, oh king, that man is you. It is you who has taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite and caused him to be killed by the sword of the Ammonites. The sword shall never leave your house. But even before that, he says that if you had wanted anything, I'm the one who delivered you from Saul. I'm the one who delivered you, and if you have wanted more, I took Saul's wives and gave them unto you and all his property. And if you had wanted more, I would have given them to you. But because you have done that, the sword shall never leave your house. You who are congregants, has the sword ever left the house of David? As I speak to you now, the sword is in the house of David. But David started poorly, but still God says that he is a man after his heart, so that he composes the Psalms which choose make. And he sees Peter and Andrew, who are fisher people, and he calls them and tells them, you come that you shall be fishers of men. And look at how they are troubled. Look at Peter denying Christ. Portion where Christ, it has been revealed to you by God. In other words, we are being told, as Christians, that you must relegate your human wisdom and let God dominate your thought processes. Then you get the right message. So this Peter, who denies Christ, even when he was forewarned and therefore should have been forearmed, what happens? He denies him, but he repents. And it is about him that Christ says, Simon Bar-Jonah, upon this rock I shall build my church. Christian tradition says that Peter then went to Rome, and when he died by crucifixion, but he has back all of them. And then an incident occurs, the journey to Emmaus. And then they are on the day of the Pentecost, these little cowards, they were cowards. Like the Twi in Ghana say, when you run after a coward for too long, you'll meet his courage. So they go there, and there is the day of the Pentecost, and they speak in tongues, and suddenly these cowards become courageous, and the world has never been the same again. It is because of cowards turned into courageous men that you are assembled here. There is now new theology in the world which is heretical. Where we treat the church of God as if, that when you pay tithe and offerings, then all blessings will be poured upon you. That is not the message of Christ. When you carry the message and the cross of Christ, from that day you are targeted by the devil and your lot is suffering, but for the intervention of God. And that is why Christ says, many are called, but few are chosen. You remember the story of the rich man, the young rich man. He comes to Christ and he says, all the laws, Gamaliel. Gamaliel in modern days was a professor of law, of theology. And it is under his feet that Paul learned. And what did Paul do? He persecuted Christians. He killed them. The first martyr in Christendom is Saint Stephen. It is Paul who presided over his martyrdom. It is this same Paul who on his journey to Damascus meets Christ. And after that, this man who was called Saul becomes Paul. And you are here are courtesy of him. The Christian version that you talk about is courtesy of Paul. It is Paul who goes into the land of the Gentiles. It is Paul who for the first time his followers in Antioch are called Christians, the followers of Christos in Antioch. So you are Christians because of Paul, the killer of the followers of Christ. It is this Paul who writes letters to Timothy, to the Galatians, to the Colossians, to the Ephesians, to the Romans. He started poorly but ended well. Are you Christians? Do you claim to be Christians? Many of you here are baptized, are you not? And you remember on the day of your baptism, you said that you rejected the devil with all his works. Have you rejected the devil with all his works? By deed or thought? Since morning, how many commandments have you disobeyed? Have you not coveted somebody's dress, somebody's wife or husband? Have you not? Have you not in your thoughts thought of murdering somebody or harming somebody this morning, since this morning? Unconsciously, have you not had other gods? This is who we are. The book of Habakkuk. How many of you have read the book of Habakkuk? Now look, in this congregation of Christians, less than 0.01% have read the book of Habakkuk. Yet I consider him, is considered to be a minor prophet. But he's the man who questions God like we all do, but ultimately surrenders to God. There is a sermon that I want you to go and listen to this evening or tomorrow morning. It was a sermon that was delivered by Billy Graham in Chicago, the United States in 1971. Who is Jesus? He's one of the most powerful sermons. Who is he? He's mysterious. Because God must be mysterious. You know, one of the things in the Bible that strikes me the most is the story of John the Baptist. This John the Baptist, who is Christ's cousin, the son of Elizabeth, says he's a forerunner for Christ. Baptized at the Jordan River, and Christ approaches him, and there is a dove, and says, "This is my son in whom I am well pleased." By Herodias, and he is in jail, and he is in jail. He doubts. And his son, "Oh, we should wait for another." And how does Christ reply? "Go on." So today, I do not want to be like the Pharisees of old, who speak for too long. I want to be in keeping with Christ himself. You know, when I'm traveling to Nakuru, I count the number of churches, church buildings. They have even run short of names now. Helicopter or something. When you travel to Nigeria in Africa, I call it the Jesus industry. They have converted Jesus into an industry for extortion through intimidation of people. That is not the Church of Christ. That is how I understand Christ's message, that